What's up YouTube, Angry Jackalope here, Rob Ricks, and I am happy to introduce you to the Klecker KLAX. So they were really cool enough to send me a KLAX to go ahead and test. So I'm going to do two different videos. Very first video is going to be kind of an overview, talking about the KLAX, the presentation, initial thoughts, things of that nature. So we're going to start off talking about the handle first. So this was the very first thing I saw when I opened the box. And it's pretty interesting. It's already got everything pre-cut to work with the KLAX. And if you look down inside of it, you'll see there's a little pin sitting in the base here. One thing that I noticed is the handle is really beefy. It's got a lot of surface for gripping. So if you got really big, meaty hands, it's going to work really well for you. I have medium-sized hands, so the very first thing that I noticed missing from this that I would have liked to have seen was some hole, maybe a lanyard hole that I could use to lash it to my hand, so when I'm using it, I have a little more confidence and not be afraid that I will lose my grip and lose the actual axe itself. So that's my initial thought. It's very high quality. It has really nice detail. It has some logo. It has the logo down here on the handle, and then it's got these three other little icons that are on here. Let's see. Looks like one is don't take a metal hammer and bash the back of the KLAX. Looks like there's a part here that looks like it's a spinning, like trying to make fire. I'll have to double check what that is. And then the third one looks like it's use protective glasses when you're using it. So this is pretty self-evident. This one's pretty self-evident, self-explanatory. This one right here, I'm not quite sure on this one, so I'll have to find out, and I will put it in the video to explain what that particular icon is there. But other than that, it's a very high quality handle. And now let's get to the good part. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual KLAX itself. Comes in a very nice box. Open the box up. There is a manual in here, and I promised I would review the actual manual and make sure that I follow all of the recommendations, because there's a couple of things that are very specific to this tool that needs to be followed to the letter. So RTFM people, read the manual. Alright, so we got a nice foam piece cut perfect for the KLAX. KLAX comes inside of feels like a stiff nylon. It's got two different Velcro enclosures, one on the back, one on the top. Let's go ahead and open that up. Well, before we do that, let's take a look here. It looks like this is some kind of maybe you could use this as a belt loop to attach it to your hip. It is very snug. I can barely put my finger in. So let's go ahead and open it up, take a look at the actual tool. Now, when I got it, it had a sticker right here. It was kind of a warning sticker. It also had the made in China. This is very sharp. I haven't cleaned the surface, so there's still some sticky residue, and that kind of was a pain in the butt to get the actual sticker off. But once it's off, you know, no big deal. I could just take some Goo Gone or whatever and wipe this down, and this will be nice and clean. So this is the actual head. Right on the back, it's got the URL, kleckerknives.com. On the front, we've got KLAX. This is the Lumberjack edition, patent pending. It's got some little hex notches here for undoing bolts, and it's got a 1/4 inch right here. This is a very sharp blade, as I pointed out. It is single edged. This is the actual face of the axe. We have a little clip back here. This part right here is used as a hammer tool. And then this is a gut hook. In a situation where you have this in your car, for example, you could probably also use this to cut the seatbelt, cut a seatbelt loose. So that's kind of a broad overview. You've got some notches back here. Let's see. Oh, we got a little schematic right here. So this is a ruler. It's also the hammer face. This is called the thumb screws. You got a lanyard hole right here. This is the rear clamp. This is the front clamp. Thumb jimping right here. So you can hold it. You can hold it to, you can cut with it. So there's that. Do I have anything that I can cut? I think I do. Yeah, I do. I got a piece of wood right here. So you've got this. See how this works. Oh, look at that. Nice and sharp. Right? So that actually feels pretty natural. It's pretty comfortable going in like that. Very sharp, as I said. Now this is also like a the front edge here is the axe blade / ulu knife. So you can use this also. And it also is very sharp. You want to make sure you hold on. I wish this jimping right here was a little bit more pronounced. For me, it's a little bit too smooth right through here. I would prefer this to have a little bit more grip to it, a little bit more edge. So when I'm holding it like this and I'm actually working with it, it'll give me a little bit more confidence. But that's just me. I'm a little nervous that it's going to slide forward when I do something if I snag on it. But other than that, the grip is pretty comfortable. I like that. So now let's go ahead and take a look here. So the back part has a spring to it. So you can see that. And when it springs forward, you just pivot it and turn it. That one's open. And then you take the back screw here and you just go back until it is far enough for this to go ahead and turn. So now that we have it like this, I can put it in the handle here. Let's see. So if I'm holding it, there you go. So I guess you can hold it this way. Let's see, does it feel different if I flip it around? Trying to see which way. I guess that feels more natural. And then you just basically take it after you put it on, turn it, 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 until it's in there. And then what they say on the instructions is you're supposed to slam this to help set it. So you would slam it down, blam, like that, and then you would turn it some more. Slam it down, turn it some more. Slam it down, turn it some more, and then there you go. It's ready to rock and roll. Now, this sheath only works when the head is off. And that's kind of a bummer. I kind of wish they had a secondary sheath to put over here on the to protect yourself from the sharp side. Something that just kind of claps on, maybe snaps. And then that way, once you have it set and you've been, doing stuff with it, it's ready to use it when you want to. You know what I mean? So that's the initial overview of the KLAX. So this blade right here, this KLAX, is actually going to be one of the very first items to go into the Angry Jackalope Hell Challenge. And what the Hell Challenge is basically going to be a test of stabbing, chopping, bashing, and uniqueness. And each of those categories will have several pieces in there. Yes, the frozen pig head will be in there, but in addition to that, you will also have things like tomatoes, you'll have paracord, you'll have walnuts, you'll have probably chicken feet, and there's a few other things that are still being finalized. This thing is pretty impressive. It's very interesting. The whole get down is really good. There's no wiggle. It holds really well. It's got a decent weight to it. It's not too heavy. It's not too light. You can feel it. It wants to work. So yeah, I'm very impressed with this thus far, and I can't wait to put it through its paces. I just wish it had a lanyard hole down here, because I know when I'm going to town on this, I'm going to just do a lot with it. I want to make sure that I don't lose it. So what I might end up having to do, I wonder if there's a way for me to utilize this lanyard hole right here, wrap it around, tie it, and then give myself kind of a improvised lanyard to hold on to it. Well, that's it for now. The next time you see this bad boy, it's going to be going through the Angry Jackalope Hell Challenge. Thus far, I think this is really, really, really cool. Thank you, Klecker, for sending this to me to test and to brutalize. And yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be very, very fun. So far, I'm impressed. I remember when I saw this on Kickstarter, and I was like, man, I hope this thing gets funded. And it got funded pretty quick. And the fact that it got funded so quickly is a testament to just how innovative and interesting this is. That's it, guys. I just wanted to examine this, share my initial thoughts with you, let you know what I thought about it. Now, the question you might be asking yourself is, why would you take something like this and potentially abuse it in that manner? Well, the reality is, I look at a tool like this as a very interesting survival tool. This is not necessarily something that I would take out to the woods just to chop stuff with, as it says, a lumberjack. But I would definitely, be Raw Bricks, package this thing up in my bug out bag so that in the event I needed something that had a variety of tools on it, as well as a really good working surface, a knife, and a gut hook / seatbelt slicer, and a basher, this could be really well inside of a survival situation. I could also choke up high on it like this, use it as a self-defense tool, and it's well equipped as a survival tool. So that is the very first thing that I thought of when I saw the KLAX. I thought, you know what, this thing could be really useful in a bug out situation, especially when it's all packaged up. I don't have this thing all bulky sitting in a bag. I basically take it apart, put it back inside of this, and we're good to go. So that being said, I'm going to show you guys. I unscrewed it, and I'm going to go ahead and go back, turn it like that, go ahead and turn it back the other way. Now it's in its position here, and then this one right here, just use the spring, turn it like that, take it, put it back inside of its case. This case is pretty stiff. There we go. Packed up, ready to go. I can use this to clip on something like this, hang it, put it in a bag. This is easier to carry like this than assembled like this. So, innovation wise, it's pretty good. If this for whatever reason is broke, I could go find, a branch that is equivalent size, put the notches in it, slap it in, and as long as I follow the pattern that they've illustrated, and they have that also outlined inside the manual itself. So I'd highly recommend you keep this with you in your pack, so that way you can see how things are supposed to be cut and notched, and they actually have the sizes. They have some basic instructions here. So if you don't have this with you, then you're just going to have to be, kind of playing MacGyver and slapping it in and trying different stuff. So that is the overview and initial impressions of the KLAX. If you like it, please subscribe. Tell all your friends. Until next time, please be good to each other.